We'll start with an easy one tonight. Tell us about who you are and why you're running for Scottsbluff City Council.
Hello, my name is Eric Ferguson. I would love to be your representative in the City Council. I was born and raised in Scottsbluff. My ancestors were the earliest settlers, arriving here in 1886. My parents had a farm near Lake Minnetonka, and I'm a 1978 graduate of Scottsbluff High School. I served in the military from 78 to 89 to include 2 overseas tours. My education includes the University of Nebraska and a Bachelor of Science degree in business from the University of Maryland. Professionally, I work as an IT project manager for a Social Security Administration assigned to the Baltimore headquarters and set to retire in September. I always volunteered in the churches I attend. Once I was secretary and also a commander in a program called Royal Rangers, which is like the Boy Scouts. I joined the Coast Guard Auxiliary and was a public affairs officer, a marine safety officer. I was a post commander of Veterans Group and sponsored help for veterans, free meals, parades, and the welcome home ceremonies to Vietnam vets. My awards, aside from my military decorations, include citations from the Social Security. I'm a recipient of the President's Volunteer Service Award. I have a passion to help others, to serve others, to improve lives. I will be a voice for the Scottsbluff citizens. You can visit my website at voteferguson.com.
Eric, what do you feel is the biggest issue facing the city, and how would you work to improve it?
I think the biggest problem that we're going to face, and this is like an external thing, but I think handling inflation is going to be a big problem in the future. It's going to jump prices up so much that it's going to be everything, including housing and so on, is going to be quite unaffordable for a lot of people in this area. Most people in this area don't make a lot of big wages here. So I also think that we need to get a city manager in here and start running things. And we also need to finish police force recruits. Need to get that up. And also, very important item here, I think we need to take care of the landfill and get us a real dump somewhere. Thank you.
Eric, as the city looks for a new city manager, what leadership qualities are imperative to set Scottsbluff up for success tomorrow and for years to come?
Well, the city manager position is a very important position. It's like him being the CEO of the city. And he's going to have to get along with the mayor and the council people, as well as with the employees of the city. And there's a lot of tasks to be involved in that position, so it's going to have to take a hard-working person to do that, with a lot of good communication skills as well. So I'm hoping that we can get one soon, and good luck for the council to find the right person.
Eric, how does the city solve the issue of aging and failing water and wastewater infrastructure?
I myself get a lot of hard water where I am, and I personally had to replace my sewer line in my house. My house is 1950, and I think what you're just going to have to do is replace the lines like one by, first come, first serve, I guess, and oldest. But that'll be a big project, it will be, and a lot of torn up streets and things. So, but it has to be done. That's what's going to have to be done.
All right, we'll move on. Go to Eric with the next question. We'll go from underground to above ground. Housing was tight coming into 2020, and probably more so now, and more expensive. So what ideas do you have for improving availability and affordability of workforce housing in the area?
Well, I personally had a problem finding a house just a year ago, and I can only find one house available, and it's a workable house, but that's going to be an issue. I had my neighbor personally was going to sell his house and build a house, but he decided not to because the lumber prices are so high. And for me to build a shed, it cost me about twice as much as what it did like about 3 years ago when I did that job. So that's going to be a difficult solution, really. You can maybe try to refurbish some older houses but we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna probably go through an inflation period, and I know that other areas in the country, the housing, they also have housing crunches, and so that's just something that I'll put on my website, I guess, and think about it and put it on my website at voteferguson.com.
Eric, if elected, what, if any, is the proper level of support for Riverside Discovery Center, and why?
Well, I support the Riverside Zoo a whole lot, and that means a lot to this community. It's been around for a long time, and I think bringing seniors down there, it would be joyful for them, as I did with my mother, and not just the kids. I think maybe we can add like carnival rides or something like that to kind of add to it. But I think adding exhibits would mean a lot and attract more. I noticed that they last report that I know is there's a lot more out-of-staters that came in to visit it. But I will try to help as much as I can and help fundraise it when I can.
Eric, is the Aquatic Center something that can be successful in our area, and if so, how?
Well, yes, I think it can be successful if it's done right. And I think the voters should have more media attention to it or know more about it. I mean, I've talked to a couple voters already about it, and they're concerned about how it's going to be taken care of in the future. They say that, they build this stuff, but they don't take care of it. So I agree with Gene about the funding and stuff like that. Personally, I like to see it because my wife can use the therapy. She needs that, and right now we just go to the hospital for therapy sessions all the time. But I hope it works. It's going to be up to the voters to decide, and I hope they have the right information about it.
Eric, over the past 12 months, how many city council meetings have you attended, and what were your thoughts on those?
Well, I was just at a city council yesterday. I've been to a number of city council meetings throughout the past year. I don't know how many, but I often go onto YouTube and visit the meetings there too as well. I think the most eventful one was the one with the firing of the city manager. And just yesterday we were talking about salary increases for employees. There's a lot of tough decisions that they have to go through, and it's not always good times, but they're generally good people on city council. So our city seems to run pretty good, so I applaud the current city council members. That's about all I have to say about it.
Eric, if somebody was preparing to move into Scotts Bluff and knew nothing about the city, how would you describe it?
Well, I would tell them that the population is about 15,000 and hasn't really grown in population in decades, really, since I've been born here. But to me, that's the fun part, is that it's not like Denver, and it's not like some big city. People here are really friendly, and there's people here that give welcome. There's a welcome committee here that treats people good, gives them a lot of free coupons and things here. Also, you know, I think having the bluffs and around surrounding area is very wonderful, beautiful to look at. It's called the landmark country. There's also Lake Minnetonka, not that far away, and you can go fishing and stuff like that. Just built the pedestrian bridge. My buddy RV Carlson helped build that. And you know, if I just had an experience not long ago about my car breaking down at Kmart, and somebody helped just jumpstart us, and that's kind of the quality people are in Nebraska.
Anyone with anything else to add? Eric?
I would also tell them how wonderful the Midwest Theater is. I mean, I went there a couple weeks ago and saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers there, and they were fabulous. But what I really noticed is that the people maintaining it and the elderly helping out there are really just wonderful people.
Eric, what are your thoughts on the city creative district in the development phase?
I think it's great. I don't have much to add to it, but I think it brings a lot to Scottsbluff.
All right. At this time, we've reached time for closing arguments, or closing thoughts, I guess, arguments, whatever you want to call them. A closing statement, how about that, to give those that are watching tonight and the voters a last word on you. And Eric, 60 seconds for a closing statement.
Well, I had fun tonight. There's some issue, though, I would like to see the council take on. It'd be a big issue. I'd like to see an anti-price gouging bill sponsored. Too many of our elderly and others, due to accidents, are born adept during the outrageous medical billing practices. Some lose their businesses and farms and homes due to extreme medical bills. This shouldn't happen. I myself am a victim of medical bill gouging. Would like to see something worked out with the Regional West and the city to have some kind of agreement on this matter. There are a lot of matters in the city council that can take on that affect the citizens, to include crime, education, infrastructure, rail crossings, and so on. We need leaders, and I would like to be one of those 5 on the city council. All in all, Scottsbluff is a great city, great people, some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. I would appreciate your vote. Please visit voteferguson.com.